Hello and welcome to Jumpin' Johnny Gaming Retro Walkthroughs. This Final Fantasy V Pixel Remastered video is the 8th part of the 100% walkthrough. This video series will cover everything you need to do in the game to get every achievement or trophy. We are still knee deep in the story and there's no letting up in this part. First, go to the Tycoon Meteor to speak to Sid and Mid and travel to Galuf's world. You will need to get the Mantite from the 3 other meteors. Each will come with a boss fight. Don't worry about the sudden jump in bestiary numbers. I didn't add some like the 2 launchers that came with the Soul Cannon, counts as another 2, but all has been shown so far. Next up is the Walse meteor, and you will face 5 bomb-like creatures, and if you don't kill all of them off at the same time, they will revive each other, so only use spells that hit all of them, and don't use summons. You can also silence them so they don't cast Cure or Arise. Before we face the second meteor, there is something we can do to make it much easier. Travel to North Mountain and control a Gale Cat, and cast Float on the whole party. Float will last a few battles, so it can be active when you face the boss, and then go to the Karnak meteor. Head into the Meteor to face Titan, a classic summon who made his debut in Final Fantasy III and appeared last in Final Fantasy IV. It has a deadly move called Earthshaker, which damages your party, but with Float it won't hit, and he casts Earthshaker on defeat. Once defeated, you can use him as a summon. A powerful summon with the strongest summon attack so far, he does not hit flying enemies. Now head to the Gore area where the flying fortress rose up and enter the meteor that's on the top of the desert area. Enter the meteor and you will face the Chimera Brain, which made its debut in Final Fantasy IV. It uses Aqua Breath and Frost Attack to damage all of your party. Time Magic works well, Stop, Slow and Gravity. The Blue Mage spell Missile will take 25% of its health off. Now we are going to get to the first point of no return. First, I forgot to get the 5th piano, which is located in Crescent. Head there and go to the minstrel's house at the bottom right and play the 5th piano and speak to the minstrel to learn the bard song Mighty March. This casts regen on the entire party. Now check your bestiary. If you got everything, you should have number 1 to 69, 191 to 196, and 229 to 253. Then check your locations to see if you got everything. Obviously you can't get one-time only places, and the only location that has one item you can't get right now is Carwin. Exit the town and go to where the red circle is. It's like a small bird shape. You will see a blue portal. Go through it. On the small island, there is a missable enemy you need to get. One of the reasons you battle this enemy is it will drop a tent just in case you need one, as you need to sleep in a tent to continue the story. The enemy is called a pal, and they are very weak enemies. Barch has a solo fight upcoming, so make sure you prepare and save before you use a tent, and you will face an enemy called an Abductor, and he has a move that can whittle down your HP to 1, which you can be in danger of getting a game over. Being a Dragoon is a good job, as he can jump and avoid most attacks. Blue magic spell 1000 Needles is effective to get his HP down quickly. My warrior can withstand most attacks, and a quick cure when I got 1 HP worked fine for me. After the battle, open the chest to get knocked out. You will play as Galuf and sets out to rescue the party. Grab the stuff from the chest and you can head up for a save point, and up again to heal yourself, and then return to the original room and go to the left hand side exit. Continue on and follow the linear exits until you get to the party, and you will face a boss. There's 2 enemies you can get here for the bestiary, and they are missable. These are shell bears, capable of doing critical attacks, and tarantulas, an enemy that made its debut in the original Final Fantasy, and last appeared in Final Fantasy IV in a more hybrid look. It can slow down enemies using web. Gilgamesh, which you will face many times in the game. The first time he will run away when you take away 1500 HP. I did a dual cast of Titan, which easily worked. Missile and Gravity are good spells to use, or if you have the money, which I never do, or want to waste skill, is use the Samurai's ability, Zen Age. Exit the prison by backtracking to the room where Galuf found the chest and going down through the door. There is some enemies to get here before you can't get to this area again. The brown area is swamp terrain. Like forest terrain, you will get different enemies in the swamps. The first in the swamp you can get is the devilfish, weak to lightning, and if you haven't got the blue magic spell transfusion, you can control it and use it on your learner. In the forest area, you can find treants. They are weak to fire, and you can learn the blue magic spell Deathclaw. Deathclaw is a powerful spell that reduces an enemy HP to single digits and paralyzes them. The next enemy is the better enemy to learn Deathclaw from. You gotta go to the grass terrain to face the enemy Strapperers. They are weak to lightning and they use the blue magic Dark Spark, and you can easily learn Deathclaw by controlling the enemy and using the spell on a learner. That's all the enemies to get. Head left to reach an area called Big Bridge and enter it. Now you don't get random encounters. In certain spots of the bridge you will be attacked, and there's 4 different enemies to get, and before you enter the second section, you want to get all the enemies before you face Gilgamesh the second time. They are all missable. The first is Little Chariot. These are weak against the lightning and level 4 Gravica spells. The second enemy you can face is Flying Killers, fairly weak enemies. The third enemy you can face is Neo Gorilla. It will use Rush, which can cause damage and start to sap HP. The final enemy you can get on the big bridge is Meros, weak enemies that are weak to lightning and level 5 death. Head up and through the door and you will face Gilgamesh for the second time. He will be stronger, but you have all 4 of your party members now. He will mainly use physical attacks and use Error, Wind Slash and Goblin Punch. When he gets low on HP, he will cast Protect, Shell and Haste, and then start using Jump and Electrocute attacks. Casting Darkness on him will affect his attacks, so use the blue mage spell Flash. Casting Silence can stop the buffs. Continue up, fight a few more battles, and you will be thrown in another area. Follow the path to get the nearest town. In the swamp area, you can face a new enemy called tunnelers. Basic enemies, nothing to worry about. In the forest area, you can come across biostress. They come in packs and cast transfusion, which heals allies but it kills the caster. Use good AoE spells. Enter the town of Regole, head into the pub on the left hand side, and there is a secret passage in the bottom left corner that leads to the 6th piano. Then sleep at the inn for a cutscene. This town has lots of new weapons, armor and magic. Buy some for your various jobs that you are doing and a few for jobs that you regularly use. White magic, you got Blink, which can cause enemies to miss attacks. Shell, which causes magic to cause less damage. Black magic, you got Drain, which steals HP from an enemy and adds it to the caster. And Bio, which causes poison damage. And Time magic, you got Comet, which causes random damage to an enemy. Sloga, which applies slow to all enemies, not just one. And you have Return, a unique spell that resets the battle. Handy when you're trying to steal a rare item. Exit the town, and there's a few more enemies to get before we move on. In the grass and swamp areas, you can get an enemy called Fairy Orcs. They can turn KO'd party members into zombies, which can attack your other party members. Zombie status are cured by holy water, which you can buy in Regole. Other than that, they are fairly weak enemies to defeat. The last two enemies can be found in the swamp area, and one is a rare enemy, so it takes a while to show up. The first is the Devourer. They absorb lightning. You can cast level 4 Graviga on them. They slow down party members and has a strong physical attack. The rare enemy you can face is the Mandrake, which can sap party members. You can cast level 4 Graviga. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, where there are more complete retro walkthroughs plus achievement and trophy guides, secrets and tips from the latest releases. Thanks for watching.